Kuchingiamuchlis waiting for me. Thank you, I hope I pronounced it right, Kuchingiamuchlis. Thank you very much for joining, for being the first one, and thank you for your like. Hello, my dear friend. Today I present you Simon's cat. You know, my background always changes. These times it's the two kitties from Simon's cat. Cat, and I think the second name is just Kitty. And I do have a cup as well. I ordered the Simon's cat directly. Look at this sweet cup. Especially for you, it's a premiere for this cup today. I just have to know. There's no brand sign, but it's very good quality. Cheers to your health. Delightful. As a true German, or say 40% German, I'm a fan of coffee. I could drink coffee, I could bathe in coffee. So, and as you see, it's sweater time now and shawl time now, and it's fresh. It's rather fresh. I don't put on the heating, not now, it would be a little bit too early, but I think in about 1 week we will have to put on the heating. And the weather outside is frightful, but here it's so delightful. It's outside, it's getting colder, and fall has fallen upon us. And today we had heavy rain showers, almost hail. Yeah, as I said, it's fall, and it's a little bit unusual for the last September days, the first October days, to be so cold, especially at night. And it's raining on end. All the rain we missed in summer is now coming upon us, and nature needs it, of course, but not in these masses and not days on end. But let's see what happens. They predicted a so-la-la winter, which is good for all the people who heat with gas and oil, such as me. In my last life, I did a little rant about the high energy prices, and the energy prices are as they are. They won't go down. There are some government helps, especially for people who don't have enough own funds, who live with the social system. They get all the heating costs, or almost all the heating costs, free, because the taxpayers, such as I, as many of you viewers, I know that, pay for that. So let's see how that turns out. And we have a lot of Ukrainian guests. I think within some months, the German population of 83 million rocketed up to 84 million. So 1 million Ukrainian refugees, and in the meantime, Russian refugees, people who don't want to serve the Russian army. I put that in my last live stream as well, my opinion on that. And they flee to Germany as well. So it's 84 million now, and maybe sometime we'll have 85, 86. These people, they don't work immediately, they don't come here and work immediately, rather. So of course, they have to learn the German language and to maybe to make the driver's license all over again, and to adapt to the German or West European living system. They have children, they have to be integrated as well in the kindergartens and schools. So it takes, I think, several years before these people can be a workforce. I hate this word normally, but you know what I mean. Before these people can be employed in German companies also. And but as it is, they still live in these refugee houses and so on. Hello, my sister, Lestari channel. Lestari is a nice name. It sounds like Lestar. Hello, Bright Star. Thank you very much. And as I said, these people, first they live from government or German taxpayers' sources, not for all time, but for some years to come, before, as I said, they can enter the workforce. And especially with these high prices, energy prices, it's quite a deal, it's quite a task, and I wouldn't want to be one of the government. I wouldn't want to be Mr. Scholz or Mr. Habeck. It's easy to say, oh, they do a bad job, and then, but I don't want to be in their skin, to be honest. It's a yeah, well-paid job, of course, but not so well-paid that I would really rack my brains and rack my health for it, because it's and we had 16 years under Chancellor Merkel. I know that Merkel is very, very popular abroad, very popular, but here in Germany we saw that she was voted over and over again because there was no alternative, because people said, well, we have other parties like the more right-wing AfD and more the left party and the SPD, but Merkel, she doesn't do much, but what she doesn't do so much, she does it quite well, so go on with the Merkel system. And now, of course, the new government says, yeah, we can't do much because 16 Merkel years, they put it all down the drain. We have to save the child again from drowning, and how can we do that? But it's true, 16 years of stagnation, of doing nothing, and of doing questionable things. 2015, open borders, everybody in. Yeah, we predicted that, my family and me, in 2015, what was about to come. My grandfather, he's from Croatia. I derive from Russian, Czech, Ukrainian family, so we have all parts of Western and Eastern Europe in my family. And even those people, as I said, my Croatian grandfather, my Serbian great uncle, they all said, okay, what are you Germans doing? For heaven's sake, you can let them all in, these poor people, but you have to take fingerprints or make sure who these people are. Maybe they are searched for by police, which in the aftermath turned out was true. Yeah, many criminals from North Africa and so on, they claim to be Syrian. I'm from Syria. Please help me, please help me. In reality, they were from Morocco or Tunisia or wherever from, and were searched for by the local police. And they all ended up here, and they liquidated in our social systems. People know that they are here, but they don't know where they are. And then they have several children. The children are still abroad, and Germany pays for these children as well. Although these children have never been officially registered, you don't know. When they say, I have 6 children in Amman or in Damascus or wherever, well, German officials just take the words from these people and say, okay, when you say 10 children, okay, etc., maybe it's 5 children or no children at all. Nobody cares. I don't want to say cares from the German officials. Maybe they want to care, but they are told not to do so, but to take all in and pay them. So, okay, they have sick parents in Syria or Afghanistan, so you pay for the parents, or we Germans pay for the parents, it's okay. Yeah, but nobody knows if the parents are still alive. He or she is claiming that the parents are there, so we take their words for it. They are all people of honor, and we pay for it. They say they have 10 children, okay, we pay for them. We pay for this, we pay for that. It's and in these masses, I mean, before 2015, German population, I think, was about 82 million. 82, yes, there was a census, 82 million. Then after 2015, it was approaching 83 million. So that means 1 million people coming in. And now within half the year that Ukraine has been invaded by Russia, it's 84 million. Because 1 million more Ukrainians and Russians and some people who claim to be Russians or Ukrainians but are neither, but are from African countries or wherever. It's a very difficult situation, and now German people, especially middle classes, they are a little bit restless because they say We have to pay so much for gas, for gasoline, and for energy, oil, gas, everything. It's so expensive, and we get more and more people who don't work. Not yet, they will work, but not now because they have freshly arrived. And as I said, they have to be integrated into the system first because they don't speak the language, they don't know German culture. It's a little bit difficult to integrate these 1 million people within a short time. It takes some time, of course. In the meantime, the German government, which always means the German taxpayer, has to pay for this, for the integration, for their food, for their clothing, for their education, for the children's education, and when they get sick, for the costs in the hospitals. It's all being paid by the taxpayer. It's the government itself, of course, it's broke. Governments always live by the taxpayers. And so there is a little bit unrest because people, they have, as I said, very, very high costs in living. The costs of living are going up and going up and going up. And I know some colleagues of mine, they practically only work to pay their rent and to fill up the gas tanks of their cars. There's hardly anything left at the end of the month. In earlier times, they could go on a short vacation, they could buy something for the kids or whatever. Not so anymore, because you only work for as I said, for your rent, for being able to drive with your car. And then you see on the other hand, oh, there are more people coming and they're getting everything for free, because as I said, they are not allowed to work, they cannot work in the next years. And people, of course, they are a little bit taken aback by the government too, because they said, okay, we made a mistake in 2015 and we just repeat this mistake, because all the people come, of course, they have passports and they're being checked. In contrast to 2015, there are checks. Who are you? Where do you come from? Do you have papers, documents? That's true. In the meantime, they learned that. But there are also other people, I know that from friends in Spain, who told me that there is a new group of refugees on the way to Western Europe, especially Germany, because our social system is so good. And these are South Americans, so people from Argentina, from Peru, who are unhappy with their life circumstances. They are not being pursued. There are no dictatorships, not that I know of. In the Peronist era or post-Peronist era in Argentina, of course, there was a dictatorship. You were really repressed and pursued even by the government. And in those times, you would have a legal ground to come here and say, okay, I'm a political refugee, I'm a critical journalist, and Peron has tried to have me killed 2 times, and please help me. That's a totally different situation. But now people are dissatisfied with the economy, with their future, with daily life, with the high criminality rate they have there. Which is undoubtedly true, of course. And so they decide to leave South America or Latin America and come to Europe. And then to Western Europe. Some have relations in England or Great Britain, in France, in Spain, but mostly the pull effect goes to Germany. So the next million, I guess, will come in the next few years from South America via Spain. Of course, it's so to say, it's the mother country, and from Spain to Germany. It's interesting times. And we have demonstrations in many cities. There are demonstrations, not against the refugees, but against the government. The people say, okay, the government promises milk and honey to everybody who comes here and who finances this whole thing. We do that. We, the German population, taxpayers, even, of course, immigrants who have jobs in Germany, well-paid jobs, but they too, of course, like the rest of us, they have less and less at the end of the month to give away and to spend. Um, many little local business closed. I see that in our area here. We had lots of cafes and little boutiques and little, these little pop-up stores, and they're all going bankrupt. First it was 2 years Corona, and now these very high expenses in energy. As I said, it skyrocketed in the last weeks, um, and they say we can't afford it anymore. Yeah, if we welcome customers, if I have a little restaurant, a little bar, or even, as I said, a little boutique, people have to be warm, they have to be comfortable. When they are a restaurant or a butcher shop or so, they have to have cool chambers for the meat to stay cold. Very expensive, because it has to be cooled down. On the other hand, boutiques, they have to be warmed up, very expensive too. And with all these costs tripling and quadrupling, I mean, people pay prices you won't believe it. I see that in my expenses as well, but I don't have stores. People who run stores, they run amok too. They can't pay it anymore, so they close down. And in our little peaceful village, more like a small town, many of these little, even traditional shops are closed now. They can't afford the price for it. And what comes next, I don't know. This is usually these handy stores or Döner stores, they go in, but they go out after a while too. So it's a very sad development, what's happening here. And we all hope for the best, that in the next year, maybe Mr. Habeck will make some new deals with new oil delivering and gas delivering countries, so that the Russian problem in that case is solved. And but as I said, I wouldn't want to be in the skin of any politician. I know that the price problem also is valid for other European countries like Great Britain, France. Okay, in France people protest too. The Gilets jaunes, I think every Saturday, Sunday they're on the streets. And well, in Germany too, there's more and more demonstrations. And I'm afraid when the winter will get very cold, people can't afford to heat. They sit like I do, but it's just because it's a little bit coolish, yeah, okay. But when it's ice cold, yeah, you put on sweaters, another sweater, because you can't afford to heat. And when you have little children who are shivering, of course you heat, so they won't shiver, and you have to cook for them and for yourself. I mean, you have to use electricity, yeah. But apart from that, no more little luxuries. No more, I'm going to the restaurant. No more, I'm going to the shop. It's like during Corona. People already announced that they will use Amazon a lot and eBay a lot and eat at home. They won't go out, which is a good idea, because, as I said, many gastronomical shops are closed as well because of the costs. So it's all a vicious circle. Let's see. Now, tomorrow is the 3rd of October. It's the day of the German reunion. Usually it's a holiday. Of course, there are some words spoken by the Chancellor and whomever. And the 3rd of October is a date where people, it's a bank holiday. People have their day off. They go shopping. They go to restaurants. Make the night a day. They're celebrating. Not so this year. Not only because the weather is bad, but if you can celebrate and have a good time in the closed rooms, of course. There are shopping malls and they're still open. It's not as bad as that. But people don't have the money left. So they stay at home, watch TV, whatever, eat at home, play games at home. It's a little bit like a prolonged Corona lockdown. Very strange. Now let's see. Yeah, that was it. Tomorrow, 3rd of October, the holidays, and well, already the 3rd of October. I remember 2 weeks ago, I sat there in the black but very light sweater. Now it's a thick sweater with a shawl and everything. I think in 2 weeks' time I will sit here like an Inuit, totally covered up in fake fur. And well, as I said, hello, hello. We don't have so much viewers today, so I think I'm gonna make it a short one. I just, as usual, say goodbye, not without one of the animals. I will try to get one and drag him or her in front of the camera. Just a second. So, wer von euch? Yeah, here we are. Here is Jerry. Jerry is waving at you. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. Hello, goodbye. And I know that many of you are not active in my live stream because it's out of their time range. Many of my viewers now have midnight or very, very early in the morning, so they don't join the live stream. But I know they watch the live stream afterwards because I always upload them. Somewhere in Indiana. Hello, Indiana. Hello from North Bavaria. Herzliches Grüß Gott. Welcome. But I'm about to say bye-bye now because I had 3 or 4 viewers. Now I have 1 viewer from Indiana. And as I said, most of my subscribers and viewers, they live outside the German time range. They now have close to midnight or very early in the morning. And but as I upload the videos afterwards, they watch them and they put lovely comments. I'm already looking forward to your comments. It's always a highlight to read your wonderful statements, and yeah, it really makes me happy because I know it's not all in vain. And I'm very, very happy and thankful for that, my dear friends and viewers. And also for my last video from the Jewish cemetery here in Hörstein. It got very, very good reviews. I'm very happy about that, and some asked me to find some other locations in the same style, and I'm looking. I look around this area. I know there are some cemeteries, sometimes, as we Germans call them, aufgelassene Friedhöfe, cemeteries which are out of use. So there are no more graves or no more bodies lying there, just the headstones and the markers where the graves once were. But these former cemeteries are used as public parks, yes. And there are some benches, old trees, as I said, some headstones left, some very old headstones from time to time. I can do a video of that. I have to find one. I have one, it's also in Hörstein, on my mind. I don't know in which condition this is. I have to look first because I don't want to bore you with just some grass leaves and crumbling stones and that's it. And empty beer bottles, because as I said, public parks, benches, there are some villagers who, especially at night, love to go there, youthful villagers, with lots of beer bottles. They drink them and have a good time. They go away and leave the empty bottles. And not very nice, I know that, but people do that. And I don't want to show you something like that. Then there's another location. I made a video of that too, a walking video. It was in, I don't call that, North Bavarian Cemetery tour. It was a cemetery in Karl am Main. I think in this video I didn't put the name, but I will put it next time. I can go there again, and this time go inside the cemetery because it's a modern cemetery. And I don't know about this, the data protection. If I make pictures of, I said current graves. Let's wait and see. Well, hello, my dear. Hello again. Thank you for coming back. Well, I try what I can do, because this one cemetery video also got very good reviews, but it was more about the area around the cemetery, the forest, and the way from the cemetery through the forest to the state road. It was more like nature video, and I can go there again and make a video of the cemetery itself. They have some old graves there. I know that because part of my family is also buried there, um, from 1880, 1900, around that time. Then they have graves from 1940s, like pilots or so who fell in the Second World War. They have interesting headstones with, instead of a crucifix or a cross, they have propellers. A propeller in this style, in this form, which also looks like a cross, but it's a propeller, because the guy buried there was a pilot, a very young one, I think 19 or 20. This can be rather interesting. And as I said, at the old Testament, then there are some old children's graves. It's always a very sad matter, children's graves. I don't like to think about that, but they're also very old, from 1910 or so. And they have like tiny angels. It's a mostly Catholic cemetery. They have little angels and putti, these little baby angels, or little pets like cats or so, carved in the stone. It's not usual anymore, of course, it's an old style, but as I said, these graves are from 1910, 1920 to the utmost. I can do some video there. It's befitting to the season. It's now we have the foggy, the dark season, October, November, and then I think when spring comes around, so in March, April, I will do some more walking videos, of course, but more cheerful ones, of course. So the grave season is over, and then the merry season, the happy season begins. And yeah, I have something in my mind which I can do in next spring, but I think the next two walking videos in this year will be mostly cemetery related. I hope you like it. Try not to make them too sad or too melancholy, but a little bit like the last one. I think it was a good mixture. And with that, I say goodbye, and I wish you all the best, dear friends. And as I said, many of you watch my live videos after they have been uploaded, and I know you can't be here right now, but to judge from your comments, you seem to be very interested. And if you have any questions or requests, so Helena, why don't you do a video of this or a video of that? Or what's your opinion on this and on that? Just ask. I will be happy to answer you in the comments or in my next live stream. So all questions asked. Oh, yeah. So how old is this kitty here? This kitty is 9 years old. The Lord of Lard. Here, look at it. Look at the Lord of Lard. Ja, du bist ein kleiner Fettsack. Du bist ein Fettsack. Das bist du. Ja. So, I'm looking forward to your comments. I'm looking forward to your questions. Thank you very much for watching. Have a blessed day and have a very successful and happy new week to come. And we will see each other in about 2 weeks. Today is Sunday, so in exactly 2 weeks. Yeah, in 2 weeks, the same time, 2 o'clock German time. And I will be very happy to welcome you, or your questions or your comments. You're all welcome. Thank you so much, my dear friends, as usual. We are waving goodbye. And kisses for you as well. Bye bye.